twisted sheets and luxury so. You up in my... I don't sing very well, but I do have a package I want to show you. There's something that came in the mailbox today, and I think it was something cool. A gift from a good friend. There's a person by the name of Mitch Hall. Ever hear of him? Well, by all means, hear of him. There is a publishing company called Rapture Publishing, and Mitch Hall is the proprietor of said publisher. He's been kicking out some bad boy chapbooks, some really good chapbooks, and I dig it, man. I get every single one. I bundle and I do all the things to make sure that when they come out, I get a numbered edition, a lettered edition, and a limited edition print. And this time he's come out with one of my new favorite authors, an author by the name of Ian Rogers. I've done some reviews by Ian Rogers. He first came into my scope of interest when Paul Miller at Earthling Publications published this book called Family, a sort of a haunted house book. And then also PS Publishing published this book, this sort of fantasy type novel involving angels and God and such as that, called Gray. This one was fabulous. And then I read on and on and on. I read the SuperNOIRtural tales, the tales about the Black Lands, a sort of a fantasy dark / noir kind of deal with monsters and such that come from another dimension. And then Sycamore, a novel based in that series as well. So I've become a big fan. I love the work by Ian Rogers, and I've really enjoyed reading it. Everything of his I've read. Well, when the two worlds collided, that's Mitch Hall's Rapture Publishing and Ian Rogers. Bam, bam! I had to jump in. Now I've shown you some previous stuff from Rapture Publications. Chapbook called The Witch Tree by one of my favorite authors on God's Green Earth, Philip Fracassi. There is Carved in Salt by Tyler Jones. Look at there. Brian Evenson's Brother's Keeper. I did a review for that one. Great book, a great story there. And then also Death on the Swayback by Chris Panettiere. So I've talked about these, shown you these, and I'm in. This one is one that's exciting, and Mitch Hall, the last one that came out, the Brian Evenson story, he hooked the brother up. He did what I didn't even ask him to do. He sent me an ARC of that one, and I was surprised. When I opened it up, I was thinking I had just gotten early the books that I'd ordered. And it turns out it was an ARC, one of 10, one that I was so proud of. And it appears that my good friend Mitch Hall has once again hooked up yours truly. And I'm so excited because Ian Rogers is one of my favorite authors out there. And I'm excited for this one, this short story chapbook. And Mitch included a note, which I do appreciate. Tim, thank you so much for everything. I hope you dig this one. And cheers, Mitch. And Mitch, I cannot imagine how I would not dig it, man. Being a fan of the author and a fan of everything of his I've read, from short stories to novelettes to novellas to novels, collections of all sorts, all points in between. They have all been great. And so this is an ARC. It's not the exact replica of what a numbered edition would get. Certainly not what a lettered edition would be. But it's an early printed copy, staple bound, and sent out to, here we go, RA4 ARC. So this will be the fourth one. He does not count the first Fracassi short story chapbook, because that one was printed exclusively for Fracassi Fest. So that would be his first chapbook as far as I know, but not counted in his membership tier sort of a thing, because it wasn't available to the general public, only to attendees of Fracassi Fest. And gosh, I was unable to attend. And do not ask me how I got a copy, because I will not incriminate myself. statute of limitations is not up. Statute, I said. Statute, because it's not a statue. It's a witch tree. But excited for Ian Rogers. Excited that a really cool fella is getting a lot of traction in a lot of different ways. Publishing limited editions, some cool news to come, and that he's hooked up with a great guy like Mitch Hall. Mutual benefit indeed. Mitch needs good authors and good stories, and Ian's got plenty of them. And of course, every author needs a publisher. So I'm glad to see them get together. But Witch Tree, wow, this arc was created for review purposes and is limited to 15 copies. This is copy 10. So the last one I got, Brothers Keeper, was copy 10 of 10. Mitch has expanded his arc repertoire, if you will. But looks like I'm still number 10. So I'm in the top 10, which is nice. And just a little bit of what you can expect from this right here. Now, the numbered editions for these are kind of similar to this. They're stapled. And the cover probably would look similar. The lettered editions use a thicker, heavier paper. They're hand sewn on the ends here. The pages are hand sewn together. Usually there's a different contrast on the cover colors and a different color as well for the lettered. So first limited edition, April 2025. There are, I'm going to be reading this one directly because I'm looking forward to it. And that's what it looks like when you go to read. There usually is a picture or two, but some really cool stuff. Each one that I've seen so far, the pages are numbered in some sort of creative way, a way that would correlate to the story, if you will. In the front of them, the lettered and the numbered, there will be a limitation page where it's individually numbered, signed by the author. And there's usually some cool artwork on that limitation page as well. For the numbered and lettered editions, this being an arc, it's slightly different, but looking forward to this story. He uses a text size that is very easy on the eyes. I'm 48 years old, if you will, and vision is starting to matter a little bit more. I've always worn glasses, but now the reading, it's starting to be something I have to think about. You just don't pick stuff up and read it. A little bit of artwork, and Chris Panettiere is the artist. I guess I should verify that. I'm just operating under assumptions here. Chris Panettiere is the artist, the cover artwork, as well as the interior illustration. And it looks really cool. Looking forward to getting into it. I really like that. I really like that picture there. That image. So the print, I'm sure the print will be the cover art, but that'd be a cool one to have right there in print form as well. Another interior illustration. So you can see how Mitch Hall is doing it right in this format of publishing. The chapbooks. At least at this point, Mitch is stuck to the chapbook format. And, he seems like he's selling his stuff pretty well. And I can tell you, for one, I've been very happy with everything I've gotten. I have heard an area complaint. Not that I would get the complaints, but I'm on the Facebook, and when people are unhappy about something, they usually say it on social media. So the bad news is often easy to find, or sometimes the compliments are not quite so easy. And that's kind of been the theme for this channel. I tried to be the theme for this channel. There's plenty of people telling you what's wrong, and a lot of them are right. And I think I just leave that part to them. They're doing it. They're doing it well. They're doing it right in many, many cases. And I just kind of want to stick to the other stuff. The stuff that I like, the stuff that makes me happy. Because why else would I do this? I collect books because they make me happy. I read because it makes me happy. I like to have somebody to talk to about those things that I read and that I collect. Because the folks in my house aren't big fans of such things. So I talk to you folks, and I'd prefer to talk to you folks about the things that I like, or that you like, the good stuff. And there's plenty of good stuff to go around, so I've got plenty of things to talk about badly. So I keep the negative to my performance, but I'll keep the direction and keep the conversation on positive things. I try. Anyway, I can't wait to dive in. Any day when I'm reading Ian Rogers stuff, every day that I've read Ian Rogers stuff has been a good day. Everything I've read of his I've liked, and I'm looking forward to the future for my man from the area around Toronto, Canada. Never been there. My man from Canada, but Ian Rogers, all the best, man. I can't wait to jump into this. Can't wait to see what you have in store. And Mitch Hull at Rapture Publishing, I can't wait to see what's next. I haven't even got what's next, but I still can't wait to see what's next after next, because I know you got great things in store for us. And any author that's got a short story that you'd like to get published, I know a guy named Mitch Hull. Maybe he's interested. Let's talk. And I'll talk to him. And I'll be like the middleman who makes no money. But maybe it could work. Anyway, thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. I got no more lies to tell, so say la vie, baby. Doo-doo.